stroke and stuff like that. And then forget trying to shoulder a rifle because, I mean, you've got so much out front. It's brutal. Hey, Ryan, you want to jump in on this? Hey, Ryan, you want to jump in on this? Yeah, we're going to have Ryan jump in. Yeah, he just showed up. Hey, Gun Talk Live brought to you by Palmetto State Armory, and we got the boss man here, so I'll do my best to be really good. But I'm here with Tim Brandt of Norma, and you guys are doing some really cool stuff. But before we get into that, you hunt, and you always hunt around the world and everywhere else. But you've got a hunt coming up that I was actually interested in because it's something I haven't got to do yet. So what are you doing?
Yeah, we're headed to Texas to do an aoudad hunt. Should be a lot of fun, except, it's show season, which means physical conditioning is a little bit off. And, we got to hit the hills out in Texas. But it's a great hunt because the animals are, wild, wary, and they're tough. Yeah. So you need a good bullet. Yeah. And, well, you got those at Norma.
You got those, but it's longer distances. I mean, typically a lot of those shots because if you haven't hunted aoudad, which I haven't, but I have a lot of guys that have, and it's rough country, and you're really, you're toughing it out. You're going up against an animal that can see way further than you and is aware of his terrain. So reaching out there is probably going to have to happen. So you've got to have something good to chase them with.
Right, and you've seen me shoot before, so it better be real good.
No, so your shooting is way better than mine, so I think you'll be fine on those long shots. But a lot across the country, we talk about long shots, and when you think of long shots, it's probably not what someone in Louisiana would think of a long shot.
I grew up in Minnesota. A long shot was 80 yards. We're hunting big woods. I was 21 years old before I took a shot over 100 yards.
Really?
I sat with a slug gun and iron sights for a long time up against a tree.
Yeah.
Killed plenty of deer.
Well,
but yeah.
you get
in this industry,
80 yards.
Yeah, right. And then you start going out to the range and dialing up dope and looking through scopes and.
So long range hunting.
Yep.
Let's put this in references of 300 yards out to, let's say, 800.
Right.
Whatever, yay or nay for you.
Me personally right now, I'm keeping it inside 300.
Yeah.
Right? But, the Bond Strike from Norma, one of the differences with this bullet than others out there is we talked about it a little earlier. It's tough enough for those 100-yard shots.
Exactly.
And, I think a lot of times it's real easy to think, hey, it's a long shot that's really hard for that projectile.
Right.
But as we know, at slower distances, it's actually easier for the projectile. Right. Now, there's minimum velocities that you have to consider, but up front, we've got this in 300 Rem or 300 Win Mag, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So and Rem Ultra Mag too, but that's a really fast projectile. And so when you shoot something at 80 yards, that's really hard on that bullet.
It is. And when you bring it inside, that's what we always worry about when we're talking about, you need to know your ammunition before you go out. You need to know what it will do, the terminal ballistics of it, because you don't want to get a long-range bullet that's dedicated to those long-range distances, and an animal come in closer, and you're like, oh, crap, I probably should back up.
Yeah, right. Well, first of all, make sure your scopes, sighted into the right distance, but then knowing your bullet will retain that weight. And, as we did the testing, and the team did a great job of making sure this bullet was ready for a 300 Magnum platform because it was ready in 308 and 30-06. But then you bring it to a whole new level when you start approaching 3,000 feet per second. And we did the testing, and this will actually get over 70% weight retention inside 100 yards, which is really good.
Yeah.
And there's some measuring stick bullets out there that this will outperform. When you get to that 300 to 800 range, we'll see weight retention in the mid to upper 80s.
Okay.
And then when you get to that over 800, we'll actually see weight retention in the 90s.
Okay.
But we'll also see adequate expansion and energy to get that animal and put it down.
Good night. It's a testament of the testing processes that you guys have to go through, and it's not like you just jumped out there and were like, yeah, it'll be good enough, because that's good enough is not a characteristic of Norma ammunition for sure. And you know what? I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I know our editors have already probably noticed that I don't have my computer up here to monitor comments. Would it be possible for Ryan to grab my computer? I need to, yeah, just either one of them. Just take your pick. Let me grab that thing because we need to monitor comments for you guys, because I know it's one of those things that you guys have questions. I want you to be able to ask the expert here, Mr. Timber.
We did
no,
not
I said,
talk about live questions.
No, live questions. You're going to get them all. So, so let's talk about what are the characteristics of the Bond Strike, and you give the folks a look there while I log into all this beautiful information.
Yeah, thanks. Well, you know, the Bond Strike is kind of that complete bullet. There's a lot of great bullets out there for hunters. You know, long range has kind of been a buzzword for the last 5 years. There's a lot of companies that make a lot of good bullets in this category. So when you come out with one these days, it has to be robust, it has to be complete, it has to be accurate. And the Bond Strike is all of that. You know, it's got a heat-resistant tip. This tip serves a few different purposes. It makes sure that you'll hit that game a long ways out, but it also helps with expansion too. This bullet is bonded, so it will retain its weight. It will penetrate. It's got a boat tail design, which we know is kind of an important feature.
Yeah. And we're kind of seeing it right here on how well it maintains its retention. So I mean, that's a big mushroom right there, and I mean that's pretty typical of this Bond Strike.
Yeah, yep, and you know, again, that's what differentiates bullets. You know, at close range, some inferior bullets will break up, and at long range, you know, they won't expand.
Right.
And so the team did a great job on that. It's a great all-around bullet. Elk, bear, deer, goats, sheep.
Yeah. And you offer it in a wide variety of calibers. When's this going to be available for folks to get it, and where can they get it?
You know, it's ready now in the 308 and 30-06. It's probably on shelves. And these 300 Magnum calibers, we're talking to the team, we're at SHOT Show, and they think April 1, well ahead of the hunting season.
Oh, that's you know, what really is good about it coming out in April, guys are starting to think about their next hunting season, and it's time to start practicing, because long-range hunting to me, I shy away from it because I don't do enough long-range shooting. Now, I'll do 300, 200, 100, you know, distances like that on a regular basis. But when you start talking, you know, taking that 600, 700-yard shot, it's just not possible. You know, I had a deer this year at 800 yards. Stale, I mean, he was right there. I could have shot, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable with the layout of the land, the wind. But, I mean, he was stationary. So I could have taken the shot, but, you know, I mean, we don't want, you know, we want to make an ethical shot. And for me, at that point, it was 300 yards. So, you know, I had to close that distance. And, you know, so long distance shooting, practice. And with them being out April 1, that's a perfect time to go.
Yeah, no, and it's important to be comfortable with your equipment and know what you can do personally too, because you know no one wins if you're not doing that. So yeah, it's been great to get this out on the market. There's a lot of excitement behind it, and you know we think a lot of hunters will enjoy it this fall.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Christian Litterich, thank you for giving me a nice segue. He asked personal defense offering. So that gives us a perfect jumping off point for the monolithic hollow point.
Look, can he just call in?
I know.
I'll hang up and listen. You know,
he makes a good point.
Yeah. No, but anyways, this is an exciting product from Norma. Norma actually had self and personal defense and handgun rounds back in the 70s and 80s.
See, I did not know that.
And I didn't either, but I've learned quickly, and so people know this. It's been around, but this is a product. Dedicated home defense is the category it is. It's a monolithic bullet, and all that means is that's a fancy word for all copper, right? It's all one material, and as we talked about earlier, this bullet in a 9mm gets some of the best expansion on the market.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? I mean, that means less risk of over-penetration.
Right.
You know, in a self-defense situation, it's really important that bullet transfer the energy immediately, and that's what this is designed to do. Because of that big expansion, you know, you get that energy in target and hopefully stop the threat.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, and if I don't know if Jace was able to get that, but that's really good expansion. And you don't want it to cut too quick either, you know, to get through clothing and stuff like that. So when that soft tissue hits, that's when you really want your expansion to start taking form. And it looks like you guys have knocked it out of the park with that. When is that available? You
know, that is available right now. It'll be shipping to stores truly right now, but the shipment's in. Everything's here. It's exciting. It's available in 9 now. 380, 40, and 45 will follow soon thereafter.
Okay.
380 coming very soon, and 40 and 45 later this year.
Guys, I think that was the next question someone was going to ask. Probably Jace, our editor, was when the 40 was going to be available.
Yeah.
Right?
40? Really? Oh, nice.
No.
You're one of those guys,
no.
huh?
No, he is not. He has about. I think he has about at least probably 20 to 30 40 calibers that he's trying to get rid of right now. But all right, no, it's okay. Going down the line, what do we got with this one?
Sure. We've got Envy over here. You know, pistol caliber carbines are popular. There's a lot of people competing with them. There's a demand for that. And yes, they're the same caliber, but obviously with the longer barrel lengths, you're going to want a different load, and that's
right.
what this Envy does. It's a 9mm projectile. We really consistent, you know, all the buzzwords on our factory and our process, but what it really is it's a composition. It's slower burning powder. It's optimized for those 16-inch barrels that
right.
you see in a lot of those guns.
So it's a PCC-driven like creation that you guys have came out with.
Yep, exactly. Designed specifically for that. And then, you know, right next to that is the Hexagon, similar in nature to be a very accurate competition
right.
bullet. This is available in 9, 357, and 45 auto. And again, you know, optimized, meaning designed for competition and accuracy.
Right.
So this one's at 1,181 feet per second.
And I'm gonna tilt this a little bit towards the camera so you can see the tip of the Hexagon. And I mean, it's a Hexagon. And I don't know if Jace can get in as tight. I'm really, you know what? I'm gonna just turn the Christian. If you'll just call, I will go ahead and let you just run the show. I think he's been watching too much SHOT Show Live this week because he asked MSRP on a lot of these.
Sure, that's a great question. This is going to come in at about $22 for the home and self-defense, and then you know, my guys back at the booth are going to give me a hard time on the Hexagon and the Envy, but I want to say about $14 a box for
yep.
the and maybe a little bit more for the Envy, but for a box of 50.
It's a ballpark. Whoa, for
yeah.
a box of 50.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yep.
See, even better.
Yep.
All right, now. Is there a dealer locator on the website or something I've never seen, Norma, anywhere?
Yes.
So
no,
go to the website.
Yeah, great questions. And actually, another nice segue for, was that Christian again?
No, that
okay.
that was Josh.
All right, good. Well,
I'm gonna let they should
not
I think,
Josh. Was
no,
it? No, okay.
not Josh.
All right.
Josh.
All right.
I think though Josh and Christian should just have their show.
Yeah,
like,
they should. But real quick, actually, Norma launched a brand new website on Tuesday.
Okay.
First day of the show. I can't remember what
go.
day it is, but it's Tuesday, and it's Norma hyphen or dash, however you look at it, ammunition.com, and you'll be able to see there. And I believe the dealer locator is up and running. And to your point, you know, that's the thing we've been working on at Norma. We know people know the name, but sometimes they can't get the product. So two things. One, it actually is available online through our channels that you can buy direct, but we've also added I think 7 distributors to start this year, and that just means that there's going to be a lot more retailers to have this, and we've got a sales force selling across the country, so it'll be coming.
I went by your booth earlier, and I noticed you guys seem to have a bigger footprint, and there was a lot of people in that booth, and I don't know if it's just been it's been an obvious push for you guys to really get out there and push the market side. I mean, you got big banners right here. I mean, you got it all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. It has been a focus for us and for Norma specifically to just be more relevant in the U.S. space, and new products are a part of it, but being there on the shelf next to some of those brands that you're accustomed to seeing is also a very important step. And, you know, we can talk all we want, and whether people like it or not, whether they're interested or not, they might not care what we say, but they need to be able to go and find it and buy it on the shelves. And, you know, whether you're a deer hunter or you're looking for a new defense round because you picked up one of the new guns, a lot of new guns here again.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's important.
Well, see, I think you make a great point. And a lot of these guys on, you know, online or in the, you know, the chat rooms or whatever it is, on the boards, they're very quick to judge a product that they haven't used yet. And we have to test our equipment. I mean, it's like everything. And just because you see it everywhere doesn't mean it's going to perform the way you want it to. I mean, this is, you know, it's something that I deal with my hunting rounds. You know, I've got to test them. I've got to use them. You know, go out to a coyote hunt, go out to a pig hunt. You know, test those ballistics before your big game hunts like your elks or your deer or anything like that. But, you know, you got to shoot it before you judge it.
You do, and actually on my way over here about an hour ago, I had just a few minutes in between meetings, and I was cruising social media, and I saw a very prominent YouTube channel, took a picture and had some initial testing data on this MHP, and he put it through light clothing and gelatin, and had 11 inches of penetration and a picture-perfect upset. So that's good.
I mean, and there are guys out there shooting it, and I think that's one of the things that I look for. I look forward to testing this. I'm going to reach out to you, and I'm going to say, hey, can you kick me a couple rounds, just 2 or 3 rounds under the table. So we'll see how that goes down, right?
I think you've been asking me for ammo for many years, and I don't think it was ever 2 or 3. But
hey, whoa. No, I'm asking for 2 or 3 right now.
Well, okay, all right, got it.
Man, we've known each other way too long, man.
We have, but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Norma, you guys got to check them out. They're here at the SHOT Show, and now they're fixing to be everywhere. So you better get on this train really quick. But this is Gun Talk Live, brought to you by Palmetto State Armory.